Hey there guys, James Wilson here, and welcome to this week's episode of James Presents, and I will be continuing with my character reviews. But very quickly, let me just tell you guys about our brand new website, brilliantly designed by the genius that is Jacob Martin. He has designed us an absolutely fantastic website. I will give you the link address at the end of the video. Seriously, it's brilliant. I'll tell you a bit more about it at the end. So then guys, sit back and enjoy as I talk about a character that's not the most important guy in the universe. He can't tackle an alien with one pinky finger, but the 11th Doctor loves him. And why? Well, because he's Craig Owens. Enjoy. If I were to describe James Corden as Craig Owens in just 3 words, it would be normal but brilliant. That's how I'd describe him, because that's what he is. He's just a normal, ordinary guy who just happened to be lucky or unlucky, depends on your type of thinking of the character of the Doctor. But I think he is just one of those guys who was lucky or unlucky enough to actually live with the Doctor for a few days. And he is one of those guys who can actually say, I shared a flat with the Doctor for a few weeks. You know, it's honestly it's something that not many people on this planet can actually say. You know, when down the pub for a few pints, all the lads are probably, all of his mates are probably like, you know, boasting about all the things that he does. You know, oh, I'm getting married next week. Oh, I scored a goal the other day, and he can say, well, I blew up the Cybermen, and I blew up a spaceship. And weirdly enough, both times he blew them up with love, which is incredibly strange. It's either ironic. It's either Gareth Roberts put it in there to make it purposely ironic, or just annoy some people. I'm not too sure. But first, let me talk about Craig Owens' introduction. I say introduction because I have a small feeling that he will return someday. I hope that the Craig Owens trilogy will continue, and I will get to the Craig Owens trilogy in a bit. The Lodger was his first episode, and it was aired on the 12th of June 2010. I remember I was looking after my nephews. It was during the World Cup thing, so Sammy and her boyfriend, well, fiance, were hosting a party for the World Cup, and don't know why they did. I couldn't give less of a crap, but I had to miss that episode to look after my nephews. So yeah, not very good. But it was honestly a brilliant story, The Lodger. I mean, really, a lot of people don't like it because it's too humorous and it sort of gets away from the drama of the situation. But I really think it's a very unique piece of storytelling by Gareth Roberts, because Gareth Roberts, I've obviously known him write a Shakespeare Code among others. So I think it's really great that he went in this sort of way of storytelling, telling about just one normal man and his journey with the Doctor, and I think that is some very unique piece of storytelling. There's nothing special about Craig Owens. He's not pursued a career in the military. He's not joined Torchwood or anything. He's not gone that drastic. He knows his limits, and he's just a guy, a normal, ordinary guy who's just friends with the Doctor. You never think, do you? You never think that normal, ordinary guys can be friends with the Doctor, but Craig Owens can, and he has something about him that just interests the Doctor, obviously, because the Doctor was willing to go and visit him not long before he was supposed to die. Oh, God. Closing time. Ugh. But anyway, The Lodger told about Craig Owens, who we know right from the get-go that he is, oh my God, just so in love with his friend Lucy, and he can't seem to he can't seem to tell her how he feels, and it's the typical love story that you see in so many films. And really, it's brilliant how the Doctor actually convinced him to actually find. Well, it took the end of the world for him to do it, but the Doctor. That's something great about the Doctor, is that he doesn't just influence people. The Doctor makes them go that extra mile, and he makes them sort of reach their full potential, and that doesn't always have to be with a gun or battling aliens. You know, the Craig Owens doesn't do that on a daily basis, and that's what I loved about his character, is that he's so normal, and that's a breath of fresh air. We don't see that in any modern companions anymore, just normality. And some people I can see found that boring, but I really don't think so, because I think he's an amazing character, and I hope to God he comes back. I've self-titled this the Craig Owens trilogy. I'm hoping that Gareth Roberts completes Craig Owens' journey, and it would be great to see Stormageddon, Stormy would be about 3 years old now, possibly 4 years old, and really it would be great to see how Craig Owens has progressed. Maybe I don't know what other adventure could the Doctor possibly take Craig Owens on. That's the brilliance about it. Yes, the Doctor can take Clara and Amy and Rory on all these great places, but Craig Owens is yet to see the inside of the TARDIS. He's yet to actually go inside the TARDIS. I mean, the Doctor headbutted all of the information into him, so he probably knows what the TARDIS is, but it would just be great to see Craig inside it, and I know for a fact that James Corden would love to come back to the show, because he's a big fan of the show, and I think it would be brilliant to just see him in the TARDIS. That's what I want to see in the completion to Gareth Roberts' Craig Owens trilogy. He needs that. You know, I think, it would just be great to just put that in the comment section below if you would love to see James Corden's Craig Owens being in the TARDIS. That would be just amazing for me, because I absolutely adore this character. And obviously, let me just talk a little bit about closing time. Yeah, his last appearance to date, his last appearance so far, and obviously we were told early on in the press that Craig Owens was going to be coming back. That was due to leaked footage of filming on closing time. But I think it was great for Craig Owens to come back, because, like I said before, he hasn't became anything. He hasn't, you know, he doesn't battle aliens. But the greatest threat that Craig Owens is under right now, the biggest amount of pressure that he's under right now, isn't that he's battling aliens. Well, that's partly the reason, but his main focus is being a father. He's scared of being a father. He's just got a couple of weeks old baby called Alfie, who the Doctor has nicknamed Stormageddon, Dark Lord of all, and the Doctor, and there's a lovely scene with the Doctor and Alfie in the in Alfie's room, where the Doctor kind of shows him the stars, and he says they're really more impressive than that, and he just shows him a cluster of stars and space and stuff, and it's really a lovely scene. It's very rare we get a moment with the Doctor and an actual baby, you know, and I think that is just an absolutely beautifully touching moment, because the Doctor, he's days away from death, and he gets to stare youth in the face, and I think that was really lovely. But Craig Owens, he has a lot more on his plate than just a platoon of Cybermen. Like me and Matthew have said before, the Cybermen being in closing time, that was a bad idea. The Cybermen could have not been in closing time, and it wouldn't have made 1 ounce of difference, because it seems to me that closing time was just focusing on the Doctor and Craig Owens' bromance, really. And I think and here's something else that I've noticed, which is rather brilliant, is that when the Doctor is with Craig Owens, see, this happens quite a lot. The Doctor gets affected by his companions and vice versa, but that's the thing. The Doctor, sometimes companions make the Doctor a better time traveller. Craig Owens helps the Doctor. Craig Owens helps the Doctor embrace humanity. You know, because on the 2 occasions where the Doctor's actually came face to face with Craig, the Doctor has actually had to, in some way or another, get in touch with humanity, and it's something that's quite hilarious to watch because watching the 11th Doctor do anything human is quite bizarre. Watching the Doctor play football was bizarre enough, and then actually sharing a flat, taking a shower, and brushing his teeth and stuff like that. You don't think the Doctor would ever do that. I mean, you think that the Doctor would have hygiene. Yeah, he has a shower now and again, but you don't actually imagine him having one. It's just something very bizarre, and that's what I love. That's what I want to see again. And obviously it'll be with Capaldi's Doctor or any Doctor after that. I don't know, but I think that in a way, now that I think about it, the Craig Owens thing only really worked with the 11th Doctor because the 11th Doctor was hilarious when he had to get in touch with humanity. He had to get a job in closing time at a shopping centre. And really, it was just I think that only worked with the 11th Doctor really, and it would be great to see if Gareth Roberts can work around that and see if Peter Capaldi can embrace humanity as much as the 11th Doctor tried to. So I really do think that Craig Owens is a fantastic character. I hope he returns, but I doubt it now that the 11th Doctor's gone. Now time to conclude on the character of Craig Owens. I think James Corden's portrayal of Craig Owens brings a sense of realism and humanity to Doctor Who. It harkens back to Russell T Davies' era, where Russell would prove that a normal, ordinary human being can be capable of brilliant things. But I think Craig Owens is different from even what Russell T Davies can comprehend. I think he is brilliant because the Doctor had helped him fall in love with his girlfriend and now wife, and finally have a child and raise a family. I think that Craig Owens brings a breath of fresh air to the Doctor Who universe. I hope one day he does return with the 12th Doctor or any Doctor after that. I rate him a 10 out of 10. Now I'm going to be answering a few comments from last week's character review, which was of Clara Oswald, the most recent companion to be in the TARDIS. The first comment is from Jonathan McGurk, who says, I love Jenna, obviously, but her character is just all over the place. I think Moffat intended to give her character some development when she was originally cast, but then he found out that Series 7 needed a running theme to keep people interested. The standalone episode formula didn't help with this. Yeah, definitely didn't. So he quickly cobbled together a story and plot to make Clara what he thought would be interesting when it originally came around to writing. Yeah, I think Moffat just completely came off the train wreck that was Series 6 and just got caught up in the success in America with that, and he sort of got caught up in that and didn't really care very much about the writing of Series 7. Honestly, in terms of writing, Series 7 was the worst of the modern era, because really it was just seemed so cold and detached and very lackluster. The idea was to make their idea was to make the standalone format seem very epic and very, sort of like movie style thing, but it didn't really work at all. It didn't work as well as they thought they did, but it seems like Series 8 and every series after that is going to be back to two-parters and back to 13 episodes, so I think Moffat has definitely learnt his lesson with Series 6 and Series 7. Second comment is from Owen Salmons, who says, I love Jenna Coleman. The character of Clara is something I adore. Her relationship with the Doctor is brilliant, but of course she does love him, which I dislike. Anyway, she's just fantastic and I love her so much. You may say I cannot see faults because I think she's beautiful, and yes, you are probably right. Another great video, James. Well, thank you very much, Owen. But really, I think Clara did have quite a lot of faults. In fact, I think she had more character development flaws than any other companion of the modern series. In fact, even of the classic era. No, I'm probably wrong. There was probably quite a lot of awful characters in the classic series, so scratch that bit. But I think you are definitely in love with Jenna Coleman. Funny thing is, my girlfriend always has a go at me for mentioning Jenna Coleman. I just say it to her as a joke now, because I know that it'll annoy her, which I find quite hilarious. But Owen, your love for Jenna Coleman just goes like on another level. I mean, the fact that you've met her is bad enough, but I'm surprised that when you didn't meet her, you hugged her and like would not let her go. Chances are, Owen, you've got a restraining order on your back right now. My third comment is from Dr. Dan Alsop, who says, I liked the idea of Clara's mystery. I'm worried that she will have a romance with Danny Pink, though it will be interesting because she may already know Danny. Yeah, I'm quite worried about that as well. I mean, See, I'm all up for romance in Doctor Who, as long as it's human to human. I mean, the love between Amy and Rory was something we were all okay with, so a love between Clara and Danny Pink is absolutely nothing to worry about for me. But as long as the Doctor isn't involved, as long as it isn't a love triangle like in Amy's Choice, that was the only thing about that episode I did not like. I think that it's perfectly fine for two humans to have a romance, but I just think that where the Doctor's concerned, I think he should stay completely out of the way of romance, even when it comes to River Song. In fact, me and Matthew have emphasised, don't want River Song to come back for Series 8, or any series with Peter Capaldi, because just no. My fourth and final comment is from Trackling, who says, I must point out that since the Doctor stopped his death on Trenzalore, Clara couldn't have jumped into his timeline. So many of the things can't have happened. What the heck, Moffat? Honestly, I think that last bit on a day-to-day bit, well, not a day-to-day basis, but every time I watch a bad episode written by Moffat, I'm like, what the hell, Moffat? What the hell are you playing at? But yeah, you're right, there are so many plot holes now, and really, I think Moffat has got to sort that out in a way. And Trackling, you were having a little conversation with yet another Doctor Who fan, and he did say that Moffat kind of justified all that in a Doctor Who magazine article thing. And really, I don't think Moffat has any clue how the hell to sort out plot holes. I think he just thinks for a few minutes and just like, yeah, okay, that works, let's make that fact. You know, so he's basically playing around with Doctor Who mythology, and he's sort of like making it his own plaything, and that's really, really not right. Fair enough, he's in charge of the Doctor's future and present, that's perfectly fine, but when it comes to the Doctor's past, that has got to stay fact, and he can't play about with that. So really, I think he's doing great work with The Day of the Doctor and The Time of the Doctor and Series 8. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, anyway, Moffat's done a great job, and I just hope to God that he stays that way. Because if he can't deliver Series 8, then I can finally say that I was right. So then guys, that's it for this week's episode of James Presents. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already for some great videos over the next coming days. Also, please comment in the section below what you guys think about James Corden's character of Craig Owens, and I will answer them in next week's video. Also, please visit our brand new designed website, designed by the genius that is Jacob Martin. Please copy the link that is on the screen now, and you can go to our website where you can just know a little bit about us, know our latest videos, and also follow links to all of our social networking sites where you can keep up to date on everything that happens on the channel. Please visit that website, we would definitely appreciate it. So then guys, I'll see you on Wednesday.